Hi, can anyone hear me? Hi there, can anybody hear me? Hi everyone, hi everyone. Oh, hallelujah. I'm so glad. Must be something to do with our computer. Somebody doesn't want the message out. Just give it a few moments for everybody else to join. Hope they join. Hi, hi.
Hello. Hello.
Wonderful. Oh, you're there.
Yes.
You're there.
Good and you.
Good, thank you.
Good and you.
Good, good.
Can you see me?
I can.
I'm good and you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Trying to get the others on. Hello. Hey, hey.
So I just quickly also popped over to my phone.
There we go. Don't know where Star is. She's had a really busy day at court today, so I don't know if she'll join us. Can everybody else hear us?
Share it out on my side.
Must have been a big problem with our other connection, or somebody's trying to prevent it from taking place.
That could be true. Something's happening though.
And I don't see anybody else here. Let's just see. Looks like there's a problem with the connection. Anyway. Is everybody here? Is anybody else here?
I'm going to check now on my side from the computer.
Okay. Thank you, Ruby. Hello, Lani. While we're waiting for other people to join, we'll just, sorry about the delay. I think we had a bit of a glitch. Just going to do a bit of a cleanse here. Hi, Cecilia. Welcome, welcome, everybody.
Eight people. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. How are you doing, Cecilia? How are you, Ruby?
Thanks for watching our people.
Okay, so
Otherwise, we're going to have my dog climbing on my lap. Hi, Annalene. Mummy.
Mummy.
Mummy. Okay, can everybody hear us? Everybody can hear us, okay?
Hello, Anna Marie.
Hi, Terry. Okay, I don't know where Star is. James, she's had a bad day.
I wonder, can you have two co-hosts?
Yes, yeah, you can. Yeah, she doesn't show up, so she's obviously not online.
Hello,
How's everybody?
Madeline.
Emily's. Okay, slowly, we've got people joining. Guys, we just start off with a bit of a gentle introduction.
Yes, okay.
Would you like to start?
Okay, so there is, I don't know if you guys know about the conspiracy theory. Well, I'm calling it or saying it is a conspiracy theory about the 23rd of September. Some people are saying the world's ending. Other people are saying, it's bigger things happening. So what we're going to do tonight is we're just going to have a few discussions on where we think the September 23 is going to hold in for us.
Yeah, like Lenka says, I've actually been sitting on this for about 4 weeks now, where I got the message. I actually got it in a dream, and then I went online to go and see what it was all about. And it was like, oh my God, what is going on here? So basically, what like Lenka said, is what it is on the internet saying is that it is to do with the end of the world. But we had the end of the world in the year 2000 with the millennium. We had the end of the world in, what was it, 2009. We had it in 2020,
Yes.
2021. I think we have one every end of year. So basically what happened was these visions and things came to me, and I went to go and sit and meditate on it. Did a lot of drawing, got pages and pages and pages here of what I drew and what I wrote down and all that type of stuff. And it didn't make sense to me. I didn't know anything about what this 23rd was all about. So over the last couple of weeks, I have delved a little bit deeper into it in meditation. I didn't want to watch too much of what was online. Kind of just, I don't follow the news. I don't watch the news. So for me, it's not a case of I'm going to go and sit and now watch what is happening on the news and let's do a broadcast. I don't have time or energy for that. So yes, we are here this evening to kind of try and debunk some of the nonsense that's been spoken, and just to bring a little bit more clarity to everybody here, and obviously those that will be watching later on or after the fact. There were a couple of people here that were we're on and now aren't on. Let's see if we can just add everybody. Okay, so let's just give it a moment. How's everybody feeling about what's going on in the world? Has anybody read about it? Has anybody heard about it? Can we get a bit of feedback as to where we're at in terms of what everybody knows or thinks they know? If you know anybody who should be here or was here, or you know them, please ask them to join. Now I know we're a little bit late in terms of going online, but let's do it.
It happens exactly when it needs to happen. So yes, no, we definitely would like to know if you guys have heard anything about it, seen anything about it on TikTok.
I think a lot of it is overrated on the social media platforms. I think that like you say, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there. So just so that everybody knows, a couple of the things we're going to be touching on tonight are things like, and I have to look at all my notes because they kind of typed out. There's so much that came through, and we will be doing another session. There's no way we'll get through everything tonight, so we will do another session on another night as well regarding other things.
Yes.
So yeah, please feel free to join us for those. We will post the information in the next day or so. So what we've got, one of the biggest things that people are looking at is obviously the end of the world and the predictions that have come about. We've seen a lot of people predicting that, if you have been on social media at any point over the last couple of weeks, everything is pointing to the 23rd of September. We're in September. So a couple of the points that I got while I was channeling this was there's a few issues around global trends and events. We are seeing a growing awareness of the environmental issues as for one, and a shift very much towards a more sustainable lifestyle or a more sustainable living practice. The whole emphasis on collaboration and cooperation between nations as well as individuals. We've got the Greenpeace, we've got the everything's eco-friendly, everything's go green, everything is what, but the jets still fly in the air. We're seeing a lot of economy shifts that we'll talk about a bit later. A lot of political changes are happening, not just in any one particular country, but actually worldwide. If you look at the bigger picture, Lanka, you're in South Africa. You obviously know what's going on in South Africa. Don't know if you want to touch on that. But just from a point of, from this side of the world, there's stuff happening in the US, there's stuff happening in Europe, there's stuff happening in Ireland, there's stuff happening in the UK, big things coming about. And obviously we would like to do each country separately because there's a lot of stuff for each country. But yes, the political shifts that are happening is showing up quite strongly.
Yes, no, definitely. I do agree with you. On our side here, strangely enough, for my, normally you would hear about this party doing this or that party doing that. I also don't watch the news, but yet I do interact with clients all day, and sometimes the political subject does come up. And I must say, it's been very quiet at the moment. Like nothing's really been happening except for the gas line that blew up in Joburg CBD. You know, earth ruptures happening all around Joburg. But from the political side, it's been very quiet. I almost want to say, like, die stilte voor die storm is what I'm getting.
So the lull before the storm, for those that don't speak up France. So one of the big things that has come about is this kind of economic development. So whilst we have a strong economy overall, there are factors that are out of our control, but maybe not out of the rich and famous or the rich people's control. They very much manipulating things that are happening. We're seeing social and cultural shifts, a continued trend to kind of go towards diversity and inclusion. Everybody wants to be part of another group. Nobody seems to be happy to be in their group or in their culture,
yes,
or in their familiar surroundings. Everybody wants to be in somebody else's kind of domain. And I think that's we're seeing this a lot with the various groups that are popping up. Your LGBTQ, well, LGBTR now, and those kind of things. The feminist groups are rising. One of the biggest things that we're seeing is the women are standing up. We're seeing the women standing up a lot more towards what's happening to them. I think we've seen that in quite a such on Russell Brand. Am I back?
we're back. We're not back on the feed yet.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back with me. I'm just checking the feed. I've got my computer open here so I can keep watch of the feed, but unfortunately we are not back on the feed yet. We are still stuck. There we go. We're getting there.
Drives me nuts. Something's definitely trying to stop us from talking.
Especially about the women standing up. There we go. We're going.
Are we back? Okay, so let's try this again. This is incredibly irritating. Sorry, people. I'm really, really sorry for this. I don't know what game's being played here, but we'll just continue as we can. So one of the big things is what we want to achieve here, and we'll get into the predictions and those kind of things shortly. We're going to take questions, so if anybody has got questions that they want answered, please feel free to put the question down. Not personal questions, just pertaining to things that are going on around the world, things that are maybe pertinent to you. We can pull a few cards, we can see what comes through to us, but we have got quite a jam-packed schedule that we need to adhere to. And we, obviously on the session, we do not want to do personal readings. So please bear that in mind. So please feel free to ask us anything relating to what's going on in the world. We'd love to hear from you guys, and please interact. We're not here on a Broadway show. We'd love to have some interaction. So when I was, hello. Hello, Megan. Megan. Anna Marie.
Let's.
Okay, so what the first thing that kind of came up as one of the big things is um, there's quite a lot of resistance here. Not sure why. Um, okay, so during my channel channeling, which was not by choice, it was just it happened. Um, I got the 23rd, 230923. Um, 9 I was seeing as a comic ending, so everything was showing up as it's ending. It was everything's ending. But 23 and 23, with the ending, it was quite a significant thing. Um, when I was sitting in the meditative state, as this came about, and as I started seeing the number 23, and I couldn't understand what it was, and I actually got it over a couple of days. But as I got this message of 230923, 230923, I felt that there was quite significant events that were going to happen around this date. Quite a lot of your kind of political revelations or revolutions, possibly, and a lot coming out about corruption. Now, not just corruption in terms of the country being corrupt, but the actual politicians within power.
Robynne, they're saying there's no sound, but I can hear you. I know there's a delay on Facebook, so let's just see if they can hear us now. Definitely something not wanting us to speak out.
For sure. Is this sound? Can you hear us?
Guys, just please send us a thumbs up if you can hear us.
Sure. Big resistance, yeah.
Well, I've got my Facebook open.
Me
okay,
too.
There we go.
Okay, thanks, Terry. Thanks, Megan. Okay, so as I was saying, around the 23rd, there's a lot of potential events happening. I'm going to go into a little bit of the astrological thing regarding the 23rd a little bit later on, if we get there. But what I felt was that there's a lot of corruption being brought to the surface. Whilst we have 9 being the comic endings and the endings of things, so too I felt that this 230923 also signified endings. And no, I don't feel it is about it's about the world ending. I think a lot of it is put out by the media so that we are fearful, much like everybody was around the COVID, and everybody was going to die, and everybody just did the next thing. And how many people died in the whole world? So I think a lot of it is the hype, or the sense of let's put the fear of God into everybody, and let's see what we can get out of this at the end of it. If nothing else, they will be under our command and under our every whim. because they're going to be in so much fear. They can't make decisions for themselves anymore because they're under so much fear. How's the sound? I've got some people saying they can hear and others saying sound is bad. Lenka, how's the sound on your side?
Sounds fine on my side.
Is it okay on your side? Okay, we'll carry on. Okay, so around this vision that I had, I felt that there was a lot of stuff coming to the forefront, a lot of things, the corruption and the political unrest surfacing. I felt that there was a lot of stuff coming up where the people got angry. The people, I don't feel like the people were revolted, but I can see them very, very angry. I can see them like fuming, and kind of going after the people who have been brought to the surface. I feel like there could be a kind of a official execution or a political execution happening, where I don't feel like it's coming from the people. I feel like it's one country against another country, or one political group against another political group. Or possibly all at the same time, kind of something has surfaced or something surfaces, and I'll get to one of the topics now on that, but something surfaces and kind of the world is in absolute fury. They are beyond angry. And so this rise kind of surfaces. Then I don't know what you're feeling on that.
Definitely, I'm picking it up around me as well. You know, the energies around me driving from obviously one place to another, south to west, east, whatever the case may be. While I'm driving, I can pick up on those energies and the amount of, just start off with road rage, never mind the people walking in the street, bumping each other, not care. There's no more care for humanity.
100%. 100%. So what I've got is this, what I feel is coming on, well, the big event. There's two big events that came up quite strongly for me. One was, and we aren't allowed to use the names of the places when we speak like this, so we're going to use letters. Okay, yes. I think everybody knows who it is. So regarding the current situation with the country U and the country R, I feel like I'm seeing explosions. I'm seeing massive bursts of, I don't feel it's nuclear. It's not nuclear. I feel it is like massive explosions. Almost I'm sensing almost coming to an end, or this is a final boom for everything to end, or yes. for the end to come.
Yes.
Okay. I'm feeling like there's a taking over, or a wiping out of. It could be, I don't know, the countries there, I don't even know how to pronounce the counties there or provinces, but I feel like it's a large place. It's a main place. So it could be a capital, it could be a headquarters, it could be something like that. But I feel like that is wiped out or taken over, taken out. And with that, there's going to be a significant kind of upheaval regarding the political situation in the country, or the country's structure. The country's governing will change, or there will be somebody new stepping in to the current government that's there. I do feel like there's around that date, I also feel like there are massive weather changes coming about. massive changes, specifically around the 23rd. Um, and after that, we're already seeing weather issues all over the world. We've got floodings in Libya, we've got floodings in Canada, northeast USA, we've got tsunamis hitting KZN coast and Cape Town coast in South Africa. We've got all this weather warning. We've got massive weather coming across Ireland and the UK as well. So we're seeing massive changes in our weather system. But with this weather change, I feel like there's an icy cold wind. It almost feels, but I don't feel like it's a physical wind. I feel more like it's a spiritual wind. Like it's everything goes cold, so everybody's too scared to do something or too scared to move forward because of what could happen. I don't feel like it's necessarily a physical wind that's taking place, but more it's a spiritual, metaphorically, it's a cold wind, it's an icy wind, it's a like a snowstorm.
I've been experiencing that cold wind, and as you can see, I'm sitting here without a jacket on, and at about 3 o'clock today, I was freezing cold, and I had my jacket over me, sitting like this, feeling that cold, and everybody in the office obviously couldn't understand why I'm feeling it, but I'm already feeling that cold that you're talking about.
So I have as well, and it's been. I mean, we're sitting at like 6 or 7 degrees tonight, but it's an internal cold. It's a really hard. It's a difficult thing to explain to somebody who they probably think you're crazy if you say like it's freezing. It's like the spiritual iciness that is happening. But having said that, that is coming about with changes. It's coming about, there are huge changes coming. I do feel like this, it represents a spiritual force. And it's like represents a spiritual people that are starting to stand up, they're waking up. We've ascended from the 4D, 3D to 4D, and now into 5G. We're seeing the double numbers, we're seeing the synchronicities coming out. And these are all things that are, they are big. They are big. There's a lot of people that are blind to what is going on in the world, whether it's by choice or whether it's just by they've blocked it out, so put on their rose-colored glasses. But like I say, I for one don't follow the news, but this has been quite a significant opener for me as to actually what is going on outside. So the spiritual force that is coming, it's going to affect everybody in the world.
Yes.
Every denomination, every religion, every living being is going to be affected by this. So I think it's a wake-up call for a lot of people that are maybe spiritually asleep or who have kind of just lulled or become dull in their spiritual walk or their walk.
Yes.
So I'm also seeing significant news broadcasts or news announcements about a massive virus or massive disease that's surfacing. Now in 2021 and 2022, in my predictions, I mentioned this as well. However, this is not coronavirus. This is not coronavirus. I mentioned in 2021 or 2022, I felt that it was due to a glacier melting, and this disease has come from that. I still feel that could be linked to the icy cold we're feeling or that we're seeing. And this disease is coming. I do feel it's going to have a very, very high mortality rate. But not everybody's going to get it. I also have a sense that we're going to see it surfacing in somewhere like Australia or in Canada or it's not in the UK, it's not in Europe. And
No,
it's not Africa.
no, it's not. No, not
It's
Africa.
not Africa, it's not Europe, it's not the UK. So initially I felt it was going to be, the first case would be found in Australia. Um, but I felt that Canada was going to be quite affected by it. Um, could be to do with international travel, I'm not sure. So this is not something that we've seen before. This is not something that we've experienced. This is not coronavirus. This is not CV. This is not Omicron, Exocon.
No, it's not.
It's different.
Yes.
It's different. I do see that there's going to be a very big emergence of it in different countries. I do feel like we're called to warn everybody, whether people want to heed our warnings or not. It's entirely up to them. But I do feel like we need to stockpile. We need to see things. Put away the necessities. Put away the things that are going to be hard to get if you put into an isolation or a quarantine type thing again. Because what I'm seeing is coronavirus had nothing on this. This is going to be quite vast. So and please, I'm not doing this video for you to terrify you or to make you afraid or because I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. I was given this message and I felt I needed to bring it. I don't like doing live feeds. I don't like having my face broadcast everywhere. I don't do a lot of them. I don't do a lot of lives. But this is something that I really was prompted to do, and I felt that it needed to be done. So what I'm feeling with the situation is, I feel like Mother Earth or the universe is saying like it's now balancing time. It's now time to balance, like we had before. We in my 2021. I said that Mother Nature was saying is balancing the playing field. I really do feel like this is what's happening. Like this, like the yin and yang. For every negative, there's a positive. And there's for every force, there's a counter force.
Yes. And
for every good, there's bad. Yeah. Okay. I don't feel like we are going to be abandoned. So I don't feel like the end of the world is coming. I don't feel like God's going to throw his wrath down on the world and make everybody starve. I'm certainly not saying that at all in any way, shape, or form. But I do feel like there's a lot of destruction coming. Thank you, Diane. So I do feel like this is something that really does need to be heard. Around the 23rd, I'm seeing a sense of explosions in various countries. It's like there's this explosion. I've spoken about the U country and the R country, and I feel like this is different to that. There are a lot of explosions taking place. They may happen all together, but I do feel like it's going to be like boom, 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 boom. It's kind of almost in sequence. So it's well orchestrated.
Yes, and it's going to be in such a way that we as the population is going to be so distracted by other things happening that we are not going to be taking into account what is actually going on in the world, where things are actually devastating. I mean, the floods in I think it was Taiwan.
The floods in Libya.
Yes. Sorry, there. I mean, nobody's paying attention to that because there's so much else going on, and we are distracted.
Because there's an earthquake in Morocco, and there's a tsunami in South Africa, and it's like this country wants more attention, so send it that way, you know. So yeah, I do not see In none of the channelings I've done, in none of the readings I've done, I do not see a nuclear disaster. I do not see nuclear being used. So I really don't feel at all, and I really don't feel like that's something that everybody should be worried about. I really do believe that if there was going to be nuclear, then Spirit would definitely have alerted many of us to it. Okay.
Yes. No, I agree with you on that one.
Okay. The next thing that comes up for me, sorry, I have to refresh my.
No problem.
Okay. Around the 23rd, when this kind of coldness comes, when this spiritual wake up happens, there's going to be a lot of unusual dreams. There's going to be a lot of possibly feelings of anxiety that we're experiencing, rapid heartbeats, exhaustion, but also wanting to sleep as well. So
I also heard with the anxiety, it's going to feel like you have turbulent waters, lots of fear-based energies coming through, changing of hobbies, not being interested in the same things you used to be into, and a lot of people standing up for believing what they believe in and speaking their truth is also what I've picked up around this anxiety. And I think the fear of, speaking your truth, am I going to be accepted? You are accepted. You're accepted by God. So speak your truth.
Speak your truth. Speak your truth. So symbolically, I'm seeing the evil one, okay, or the evil ones. And the evil ones that I'm referring to are the political elite. They are governments. They are organizations. They are, you pretty much all know what I'm talking about. It's a different countries, it's a different organizations, it's a different groups. I do feel like there is almost like a deep state or another world that I'm being shown, where these people are almost malevolent forces in this other world, the new world order. It could be that that I'm seeing, but I feel like these people or these forces are almost going to have their lower halves chopped off, symbolically, obviously. They're not going to be able to do or cause further harm.
Yes.
Okay.
See, almost the image I'm getting is like those cartoons that used to run, and then it used to be a tree. So the images that they're showing me, it's like these cartoons running, and then they don't see the wire, and they go over it, and they stop immediately, and they can't move any further.
I almost feel like Spirit is going to almost neutralize.
Yes.
Almost neutralize. So one of the things that came up with this whole deep state or these forces, the evil forces, is I do feel like there is something quite significant surfacing around this this town. I also get a lot of ringing in my ears, almost like I'm going down a channel, or almost like I'm going into like a tornado or like whirlpool, like a vortex. And I'm seeing and I'm hearing like these noises of these I'll call them tornadoes or twisters. But I do feel like they're other kind of portals or other kind of vortexes. And I feel like there's and some of them have symbols on them, spiritual symbols. And I feel like it's just almost reminding us that we are not alone, that we are not alone in this, that we have to pass through certain portals, we have to ascend to be able to get to the next level, or be able to stand on the next level. There's a lot of people that will not be moving to the next level. And I feel like those people that are already hearing that ringing, that I always feel like it's an echo in your head. It gets so loud. I feel like this is significant to this. I also feel like it also relates to the weather patterns that we are experiencing, and are going to experience. There's something quite significant regarding weather patterns happening on the 23rd.
Yes. Also, I'm picking up that it's. I don't want to say it's a normal day. So, I'm getting the feeling of like having all 4 seasons in one day.
Welcome to Ireland.
Yeah, I don't think us as South Africans will be able to handle all 4 seasons. We can only handle one season at a time.
Yeah, I do feel that there's definitely something significant happening on the 23rd, and I actually feel like from the 23rd onwards, there's quite a 23rd is a big event. There's a lot of big events happening, but I feel like it's going to kind of push out for a week or so, to kind of the end of the month, where we're going to see some other stuff happening. I feel like there's going to be an opening up of these vortexes or portals or tornadoes or twisters, whatever is you want to call it, that I'm seeing. I feel like it's almost opening up to a new earth. And I don't feel like this is a physical new earth. I feel like it's a spiritual new earth.
Yes.
And I feel like people are crossing through. People are crossing through. People are helping others through.
A lot more people have also been asking a lot of questions.
Absolutely. The things that have been around for the last 2,000 years doesn't satisfy everybody anymore, because of there's so much corruption and so much nonsense going on within the different organizations.
Yes.
And people are sick of it. They realize that there's something more out there. There's something more that will satisfy them and their needs.
Yes.
One of the things that came up for me was, and I'm not one to, well, I won't say I don't believe in them, but I'm not one of these for anything extraterrestrial, alien-like, any of that. I know it happens, I know it's around, but I do feel like there's something regarding that we are going to see. We're going to see a lot more of it. And I do know that there's just been a finding in Mexico of an alien, a fossil, that I saw just pop up on Facebook or something. So I do feel like this. I don't know if the normal people will notice them at all, or on a whole. I don't feel like they're going to, that everybody will notice them, but I do feel there's a lot of people that are going to see them and that are going to interact with them. Okay. I also don't believe that the unenlightened will be able to see them with the naked eye, will be able to see them. They won't be visible to them. No, they won't be able to be seen by just anybody. Okay, I feel like the whole world at this point in time is sitting almost in anticipation. It's like we're all sitting there like we know something big is happening, but we just don't know what it is, and we don't know when it's going to happen, and we don't know what is going to happen, and we don't know all of that stuff. So I do feel like there's a possible energy weapon that's used around the 23rd. I don't feel it's nuclear, but I do feel like it's some sort of I've got energy weapon or energetic weapon that happens around this time. I'm seeing it almost like somebody's focusing something on something. So it's like kind of bringing something to light, or it's bringing the light to that point, almost like a laser. Almost like a laser would bring focus to something. I do feel like there is something to do with the evil ones that I spoke about earlier. Like I say, it could be, but I feel like there's some quite catastrophic events taking place around this time. I feel like almost symbolically we're talking about like opening up the gates of hell to let the demons out. But I don't feel like it is a physical gate of hell because I don't believe in heaven or hell. I'm not affiliated to any religion. But I do feel like there's something about the gates of hell or the Hades gates being opened. This is what I got. But I do feel like somebody intervenes or something intervenes and it blocks it.
Yes.
So I do feel like there is something that escapes. So we may find that there's a little bit we may find that something is let out. So we may see that it's something like a nuclear leak or a nuclear something. I don't feel like a nuclear bomb or a nuclear explosion, but I do feel like something is leaked from this portal.
Yes.
That was said. Something leaks out, and this causes some chaos. But I don't feel like it's as bad as what we think it would be, or it should have been.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't feel like we're going to see monsters running around or demons running around. I really don't feel that is going to happen. But I do feel like there is something quite significant that does come about because of this.
Yes. I also,
sorry, Bianca.
Sorry about that. I also feel that, a lot of these events, it's not like it's going to be the 23rd and it's going to happen on all these stuff that we are talking about now is going to happen on the 23rd. I feel that this is a series of events that obviously take place. So I just want to bring that into awareness as well for the people that are watching the replay, maybe, it's not going to be one day thing it's going to happen. It's a series of events that's going to unfold, if I can put it like that.
100%. I don't think it's going to happen all in one day. I do think there are some quite significant events happening on the day, but I don't feel like everything's going to happen in one day.
No.
Definitely not. I do feel it's around the 23rd, so yes. Around and following on for a time period after the 23rd. But yes, definitely not. Like I said, I felt like there was a lot of political events happening. I don't feel it's to do with any particular political regime, but I do have it coming through that there is something happening there. I do feel like these portals that we're talking about, or these vortexes, or these twisters, kind of show us that we're going to experience a heightened connection, or we're going to the spiritual realm, or there's going to be a shift of energy. I feel like it's going to be a massive shift. Like it's you won't be able to miss this shift.
Yes. Okay. And it's going to be a shift from the anxiety anxiety and the fear of a more love-based energy.
Love-based.
Yes, where people are going to start being more kinder to each other. Just common courtesy is what I'm seeing is coming back.
100%. So sorry, I just want to get to my page. Around the 23rd, I also feel like there's going to be somebody or some people being exposed. I feel like there's an exposure relating to some sort of trafficking, child trafficking, women trafficking, something to that effect. I feel like big names are going to come out, and it's going to cause a shock right throughout the world. We're already seeing some names being mentioned regarding certain things to do with the treatment of women and children. We saw the Prince with the A last year with the whole Epstein whole thing. I do feel like what's coming out is going to be a million times worse than what they already know or what we already know. I think it's had a lid kept on it for many, 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 many decades.
Yes.
And I feel like around the 23rd, this is going to come to light.
I've also been noticing a lot of kinder, like when we were children, the kinder programs that we used to watch, like Teletubbies, Barney, Winnie the Pooh, all the stories behind the characters and stuff like that. That's also surfacing now. People are starting to become aware of that as well now.
Absolutely. One of the other things that I felt was people are noticing a lot more. Before, you would just walk past people in the street and you'd see a man with two girls and you'd think that they were his children. People are questioning now. What is this person doing with those children? What is this person doing with those people, I think the whole thing with the people that are involved, the people that are being brought to light slowly but surely. We've had the Epsteins, we've had Andrew, we've just got Russell Brand, who I do not feel that it's 100% accurate. And I do feel like from my own opinion, I do feel he's been set up. But we will do a completely separate thing on Russell Brand. That's too deep to go into tonight. Okay. So I do feel like this 23rd brings about a final nail in the coffin for certain people, organizations, political groups, and for the country with the U and the R.
Yes.
I feel like it's like the end for them. It's like, okay, so far no further. This is like, whoa, time out.
What I'm also seeing is the Libra scale, but it's literally doing this, and then all of a sudden it just goes dead still, and it's in balance. But it still takes a while, and I feel this is the occurrences we're talking about is on the 23rd, this scale is going to start moving around to balance out again.
Yes, 100%. I also see a lot of military intervention happening, not in a sense of that they're fighting a war or they're fighting a battle, but more that they are there to help people.
Yes.
So they will be directing people to possibly food halls, to places where not just the needy, but everybody can get supplies.
Yes.
For a time period. I do feel like this is going to bring about chaos. I do feel it's a number of countries. I don't feel like it's any one particular country that we're focusing on. I do know the UK and the US come up quite strongly here. but I do
also
feel like
picked
these
it up.
others. I also feel like these others. Um, I do feel like, let's get on to something juicy. So I feel like there's going to be a big bust regarding the children and women, regarding this break in a case or break in
Yes,
a being divulged. Um, I feel like this is something that is going to affect everybody. Um, it's going to pull at heartstrings. It's going to make us sit up and wake up
yes,
to what's going
pay
on around
attention.
us. Um, I really do feel like there's a pull that spirit is allowing to happen for us to almost to be shaken to the core.
Yes,
That we will not tolerate this or we will not allow that. And I've got goosebumps here. So yeah, um, I really do feel like it's something quite big. Um, a lot of people, well-known people, are going to be involved in it. I do feel like there's a lot of um, names that are going to be thrown around.
yes,
And I do think we're going to be quite surprised at who comes out of the woodwork.
yes,
Um, not just politicians, not just the man in the street, but some big guys.
yes.
Okay.
Big name.
Um, big names, very big names. Um, okay, I think we are coming to a close. I think. I just want to check my. Is there anybody who's got any questions for this while we um, I just go through my notes quickly because it kind of went all over the place now. So one of the things that came up for me was I feel like there's um, I get an image of the devil, whatever the devil looks like. Um, and I felt that there was a child or children very close to this figure. And this is signifying to me, it's indicating to me that um, there's really disturbing events regarding children,
Okay.
um, child exploitation and harm. Um, and I feel like everybody needs to send love, light, and energy because these girls need to be found.
Yes.
Okay. I also got an image of a wolf and a hyena actually. Um, and for me, this was a symbol of um, preying on children,
Yes.
like in Little Red Riding Hood, the fairy tale, the wolf preying on Little Red Riding Hood.
Yes.
And I felt exactly that was what was happening. Um, it's going to bring things to light. It's going to be brought to the surface because people are going to suddenly recognize the big bad wolf.
Yes.
Okay. Um, I do feel like I'm seeing a lot of masks. I'm seeing like a ball, a masked ball, and people are um, hiding behind the masks or concealing who they are. I'm talking about big people here, the big hobnobs
Yes.
um, of society. There's a lot of people that are kind of flaunting who they are, but the person behind the mask.
Yes.
But when the mask is taken off of them, there's going to be a huge realization
Yes.
as to what this person is all about and what they have been doing. Um, I also feel the devil for me represented a lot of negativity, a lot of hidden issues, a lot of things being kept in the dark. Um, Interestingly enough, one of the cards I pulled was the Justice card. So I do feel like this is something that's going to come to justice. I do feel like it's going to be done.
Yes.
And possibly this is something where I spoke earlier about the executions and things. Possibly this is what we are going to see because
Yes,
of it.
I'm also picking up on that, and I'm also I saw the figure of the scarecrow. So not only is this person gonna come through, or his real things that he's been doing is gonna come out, but he is also heartless, completely heartless. That's what the scarecrow feels to me as though, and that's why I'm picking it up. And I'm also picking it up that a bird and an eagle going with a scarecrow.
Like something on a flag.
Yes.
Okay. I also felt that there's a certain country that's predominantly involved in it.
Yes.
So yeah. I do feel, I think that's pretty much what I had to say here. Does anybody have questions? Let's go to some questions quickly and see if there's anybody with questions.
Robyn, do you mind if I pop off so I just can get the stuff ready for load shedding?
No, it's fine. I think
Okay.
we're going to end off here.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you
Lenka.
for
Lovely to have you.
And I'll see everybody again for our next session. Bye.
Bye. So the last couple of points that I wanted to bring to attention is we've got Kim and Putin that are meeting each other in their backyards. We've got a lot of unrest regarding USA, China, USA, Canada, China, Canada, the various countries that are kind of all at loggerheads with each other. One of the interesting things that during my research, I was looking at the situation regarding the US, and they are the top, they are the most wealthy country in the world, so they say. But I do feel like this is coming to an end. I do feel like there's a real big push for people for justice. I feel like there's a no more tolerance for people accepting the lies and the deception of governments. The emphasis here I'm seeing is on justice. Whether you're rich, poor, middle class, employed, unemployed, whatever the case may be. I do feel like there's a new justice system coming out, or will start because of this. I do get a caution regarding following blindly, like the sheep following sheep, regarding things that are going to come out, and being called, and I believe we're all being called to stand for what's true and good in the world. Don't be obedient slaves to corrupt systems. Don't be obedient slaves to corrupt governments. There are good things ahead. There are really good times ahead for us, despite the turbulence around this town. One of the interesting things that I wanted to just bring up in closing was according to the US and Biden's chart, astrological chart. It shows quite significant astrological events happening to do with this time period. Biden's inauguration chart represents the entire presidency, and the transiting planets reveal the ongoing developments. Um, I do feel like there's a lot of opponents, a lot of oppositions that are being shown. Um, and Pluto returns again, where Pluto returns to the position of the birth of the nation. So it's almost come full circle. Well, it has come full circle. And it signifies a return to the position at the birth of the nation. So it signifies major changes and transformation for the USA. Um, I do feel like there's some unexpected changes in the presidency, but I do feel like this is going to have a knock-on effect worldwide as well. So as I said before, stock up the things that you need to stock up on. Keep cash keep cash with you, because I do feel like there's going to be a really, really big knock-on effect with these changes that are going to happen. We're going to do a couple of other lives, and hopefully we'll get it right first time this time. That we will post in the next couple of days. I want to thank everybody for listening. Please understand that this is not what I want you to hear. It's what Spirit wants you to hear. I don't have to come on the lives. I don't have to bring the messages. Actually, I do, but I don't have to do the live feeds. I could just type a message. But I really felt like I had to get it out there for everybody, as many people as we can. This will be posted on YouTube. It will be posted on Instagram. It will be posted on TikTok. Please share with like-minded friends and family, to those that are like-minded. I do feel like there's going to be almost a rising up of spiritual people at this time. I pray protection over all of you. I send much love, light, and many, many blessings to everybody. If I can help in any way, or if we can help, the anchor or myself, we're available for readings at any time. You can book on my website, which is on my page, or you can contact the anchor for readings as well. Sometimes we just need a little bit more clarity as to where we're going in the next short while. Coming up to the end of the year, people are tired, people are moodless, they are fed up. People are fed up with what is they're being expected to put up with. And I think this is what this whole message is predominantly all about, is to take a stand, to take back our power, and to live the life that we are truly meant to live. Does anybody have any questions before we close off? I'm going to leave it open for a few minutes. I want to thank everybody who came to listen. Apologies again for the bad connection at the beginning, but this is definitely a message that we had a lot of resistance getting out. So I hope it brings clarity and peace of mind. The world is not ending on the 23rd. The world as we know it, possibly, or the things we tolerate, possibly. But no, the world's not ending. Okay, people, will leave it there. Thank you for joining us, and we will chat soon. Please leave your comments in the comment bar. If you'd like to give us a thumbs up, if you would like to see further live feeds, please like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, all under Intuition by R, and make sure to get onto our WhatsApp group, or onto our newsletter. The details for the WhatsApp group is +353 899 482613, or you can mail spirit@intuitionbyr.com, or you can go onto the website and sign up under the shop tab on intuitionbyr.com. Leanne's details are also in the link here, and I will put all details down below. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Many, many blessings. Much love and light. Bye-bye.